Hey there, and welcome into another exciting episode of A for Effort. I'm your host, Matt, and as always, we start off giving thanks to our unofficial sponsor of the podcast, AMC A-List. $19.95 a month gets you 3 movies a week at local AMC theaters in your area. Check AMC.com for theater listings and offer availability. On today's episode, we're going to break down Godzilla, King of the Monsters. That's right, Godzilla is back, and this time it's better than ever. I had a great time with this movie. Although I saw it in 3D, which is not my favorite, I still had a great time with this movie. It was outstanding. Usually my biggest problem with movies like Godzilla is that they center too much on the human cast. Well, I'm happy to say that although the plot to this movie was a little weak, the human cast was absolutely outstanding. I had a great time following the characters that we got to follow, starting with Kyle Chandler, Vera Farmiga, Millie Bobby Brown, Ken Watanabe returns, Zhang Ziyi, Bradley Whitford, Sally Hawkins, Charles Dance, Thomas Middleditch, Aisha Hins, and O'Shea Jackson Jr. Like I said, the human cast was great this go around. There are tons of characters. I mean, and like I said, the plot to the movie was a little weak in terms of overall story, but we're not there to follow a story about these humans. We're here to watch the monsters fight, and there was plenty of that. I loved the overall CG was outstanding. It's up there with Avengers Endgame for top CG of the year so far. It was amazing. Godzilla looked great. King Ghidorah looked great. Rodan looked great. Mothra looked great. One of the things I liked about this movie was they were lacing it with lots of Kong references to prepare you for next year's Godzilla v Kong movie. A couple years ago, Legendary purchased the rights to the Kong franchise so that this could eventually happen, so that we could get a Kong v Godzilla movie. And they laced the recent Kong movie with Monarch, which is the big company that searches for Godzilla. And this movie was just littered with references to the Skull Island, to Kong himself, to all sorts of just little tiny references. At one point I thought Charles Dance's character was Tom Hiddleston's character from the first film, Kong Skull Island, but unfortunately they're two different people. It could have been a great little segue to have this character be that character, but they weren't. I looked it up and saw that they're completely different characters, and that's fine, but I would have liked to have combined the two of them. There was like I said, some great fighting sequences. I really enjoyed Millie Bobby Brown. Her character was pretty good. I was expecting from the trailers for her to just be a whiny little kid and crying all the time and kind of just a minimal part of the movie, but she was actually very integral to the plot, and she was really great. And I hope she gets more opportunities like this one to play up on her acting chops, because she's really good. And she's great as Eleven in Stranger Things, but she was really good in this, and I hope she gets more opportunities. Kyle Chandler, it's great to see him. I know he's had some Netflix shows that he's done, but I really hadn't seen him do much since Friday Night Lights, so it was great to see him doing this movie. He was great. I love O'Shea Jackson and everything he does. So many things. I mean, the action sequences were just outstanding. There's one in the middle where Godzilla takes on Ghidorah and is phenomenal, and then obviously the final fight is just even better. It was really good. I mean, they really did a great job with this movie. I mean, it took 5 years to get a second Godzilla movie from the Godzilla 2014 reboot, which was great. Not enough Godzilla for me personally, but they listened to that from all the fans, and just so much Godzilla, so many monsters, so many just outstanding fight sequences with all these different monsters, and the post-credit scene sets up the possibility of a mecha Ghidorah. I loved it. I had such a good time. Like I said, I saw it in 3D. It's not exactly my cup of tea, but I was happy to see it in 3D. I enjoyed myself. It gets an A+. This is what a summer movie should be. You know, you're going there for the popcorn, you're going there for the fights, you're going there for the explosions, and a summer movie doesn't need the best plot, but it does need to have fun. and that's what this movie was to me. It had a lot of fun, and it's definitely worth the watch. Get out, go see Godzilla King of Monsters. It definitely is worth your time. I've been your host, Matt. Like, subscribe, share, comment on all platforms: YouTube, Spotify, Apple, Google. We're on all of them. Check out our weekly show, The Geekly Effort, where we talk all things comic books, TV, movies, video games. Follow us on Twitter and Facebook at The Geekly Effort. Again, I've been your host, Matt. Come back to us next time on another exciting episode of A for Effort. We will always have quality movie reviews.